What is going on, everybody? How you doing today? My name is Jim Games and I react to videos on the internet, and in today's video I'm going to be reacting to Blackpink. Well, kind of. I'm not going to be reacting to any of their music, I'm going to be reacting to them in general. This is a video, it's called The Revolution, A Story of Blackpink. You may or may not know I've been reacting to Blackpink music videos and live performances on this channel as of lately, and I figured maybe it's time I learned a little bit more about who they are, where they come from, and possibly some of their background. So hopefully this video will describe that here for us today. If you're new, please consider liking and subscribing because I do this sort of thing all the time, and I'd love to have you here, truly help me out. And also I have a couple important links down below I want to tell you about. One is my community Discord. I highly suggest checking that out and joining if you're on Discord. It's a great place to connect with me and other like-minded individuals about music and all sorts of other stuff. And then I also have my Twitch link down there as well. I do live reactions every Wednesday over on Twitch, and if you'd like to be a part of that and float me some music, Twitch is the best way to do it, so be sure to check that link out as well. Now, without further ado, let's switch screens and let's get right on into it. We're going to learn about Blackpink today. Here we go. Recognize this melody? Dude, I am digging this orchestrated version of this song.
"34 music show wins, the most viewed YouTube video ever in the first 24 hours. First K-pop group to hit 1 billion views, the most listened to female K-pop artist on Spotify, the most successful K-pop girl group concert of all time, the best charting K-pop girl group of all time, the most popular K-pop girl group of all time. And their name is
Blackpink.
걸그룹 블랙핑크.
Blackpink.
K-pop group 나 Blackpink.
Blackpink. Blackpink. Blackpink.
They're obviously huge.
Blackpink is a name that's known all over the world. They are the hottest group in K-pop right now. But what makes Blackpink so special? There have been other groups with a girl crush concept and other groups with a hip-hop concept. What did Blackpink do that started this revolution?
What is a girl crush concept? What is that? What does that mean? Is that like a style of music, girl crush? Or is it just because they're attractive girls?
In 2011, a group called 21 released their hottest single ever called I Am the Best. The group was on fire to become one of the most successful girl groups of all time. By the end of their career, they had 700,000 sales, 43 music show wins, and 6 taesangs. 21's career had just begun to take off. In July of 2012, YG released a video called Future 21, and many fans interpreted this as YG getting ready to start a brand new girl group, despite 21 being brand new themselves, and they were right. The next month, YG released a video introducing a certain girl by the name of Jennie Kim. This would be the beginning of his fresh new girl group, Pink Punk. Yes, you heard me right, Pink Punk. So after a series of teasers, reveals, and rumors, it was speculated that Pink Punk would be a 9-member group. So who exactly were these 9 rumored members? A name you might be familiar with is Yoona Kim. You might recognize her from the girl group The Ark, and more recently the duo Khan. She was also on the reality shows Superstar K3, Unpretty Rap Stars 3, and The Unit. Next is Park Jinhee, who finished 69th in Produce 48 and is now in the group Secret Number. Then we have soloists Jang Hana and Kim Eunbi. And lastly, Cheomyeon. Yes, that Myeon, main vocalist of G-Idol and Ari of KDA. Slowly, one by one, these 5 members were removed from the group. Until May of 2016, 4 years after Pink Punk was introduced, we were left with these 4 names. Jennie Kim, main rapper, the face of the group, and the first revealed official member. Next we had Lalisa Manoban from Thailand. Lisa debuted as the main dancer and lead rapper of the group and was the first non-Korean idol ever of YG Entertainment. The next revealed member was Kim Jisoo, the visual and oldest member of the group, debuting at 21 years old. And the last member of the group to be revealed was Park Chae-young from Australia, more commonly known as Rose, the main vocalist. On June 28, 2016, YG finally revealed the name of the four-member group, Blackpink. And in just less than 2 months, Blackpink rocked the world with their duo singles Boombayah and Whistle. It was new, it was fresh, but also confident, cocky, and powerful, thus finally bringing Blackpink to your area. Both Boombayah and Whistle topped the charts. 14 days after debuting, they won their first music show award, the fastest a girl group had ever won a music show award after debuting. Just 3 months later, they released Playing with Fire and Stay. And later in the year, they won 5 Rookie of the Year awards.
Blackpink.
Wow, so they won a lot really quickly. They escalated pretty quickly here. I was wondering if it was going with that pink punk thing, but I guess it was just like a starting project for Blackpink, possibly. Still a little confused by that. But it seems like once Blackpink had a couple singles out there and they had some faces behind the music, in front of the music, it seemed like they exploded pretty quickly. At least that's what I'm getting from this video.
In just 6 short months, Blackpink had already become a legendary group. Fast forward to June of 2018, with just only 5 songs, Blackpink was already the second biggest girl group in K-pop.
Wow.
Then, they dropped a song by the name of Doo Doo Doo. Little did they know, and little did the world know, that this song would be the catalyst that propelled Blackpink into international stardom. It was an instant sensation and became the most viewed video in 24 hours in YouTube history, and
I just did a reaction to that song. I butchered the name. I wasn't sure exactly what it was, but dang, that's a catchy song for sure. It's got some awesome hooks to it. And the production value on that tune is awesome. I'll be sure to link that video down below.
Eventually, it became the most viewed K-pop group video of all time with 1.2 billion views. The song was addictive and the choreography was viral. It debuted at number 55 on the Billboard 100, which at the time was the highest charting K-pop song ever by a girl group. In fact, they were the first K-pop girl group to make the chart since Wonder Girls in 2009. Their first mini album Square Up sold 320,000 units on Gaon, and at the time became the 8th best-selling Korean album of all time for a girl group. Their presence eventually caught the eye of a certain British singer by the name of Dua Lipa. This would eventually spark a collab called Kiss and Make Up, which would once again chart on the Billboard 100. In October of 2018, Blackpink signed with Interscope Records, which is under a little company by the name of Universal Music Group, the biggest music company in the world. And it seemed like Blackpink was everywhere. They made appearances on the talk shows The Late Night Show with Stephen Colbert and Good Morning America. Then in March of 2019, they became the first K-pop girl group to ever grace the cover of Billboard magazine. Later that year, they embarked on their In Your Area World Tour, which would eventually become the most successful world tour by a girl group of all time, grossing $37 million.
Whoa.
Their single Kill This Love dropped on April 5th, 2019, once again breaking the record for the highest charting K-pop girl group song, charting at 41. Their album Kill This Love would garner 380,000 sales in Gaon, becoming the 7th best-selling girl group album of all time. On April 12th, Blackpink went on to become the first K-pop girl group to ever perform at the Super Music Festival, Coachella. On April 22nd of 2020, Blackpink collaborated with Lady Gaga to release the single Sour Candy. This would once again break the record for the highest charting K-pop girl group song, charting at number 33. On June 26th, Blackpink released their long-awaited single, How You Like That, and would go on to break 5 Guinness World Records, including the most viewed YouTube video ever in 24 hours with 86.3 million views. Just 8 hours later, the video went on to become the fastest video of all time to hit 100 million.
Dude, I knew they were popular. I just didn't realize they were this popular. 86 million views in one day. This seems like they only have a handful of songs in their arsenal as well. This isn't like albums and hyped up albums, after album and finally leading to one point. Like, they just seem to have exploded, like almost overnight.
Views. 6 days later, it broke 200 million views, the fastest video of all time to reach it, which leads us to today, August 28th, Blackpink's newest single with none other than Selena Gomez. Everything that Blackpink touches turns to gold, and there is no doubt that this next single will continue to elevate Blackpink to the zenith of K-pop history.
so. This man.
A newcomer or even a veteran to K-pop will know after the first seconds of watching or listening to Blackpink, immediately they'll get hit with that doo-doo-doo-doo. This group is different. There's a certain power and energy that emanates from Blackpink's music and image. To reiterate the earlier question, other girl groups have done the girl crush concept like 21 or 4 Minute. There have been other groups with the hip-hop concept. Remember Evil? Remember Glam? Those groups have not even come close to what Blackpink has achieved in 4 short years. What is their secret? How do they make the masses whistle like a missile?
In 1998, K-pop was still in its early infancy. This new exciting generation of music gave birth to some groups like SES with their vibrant love songs, Finkel with their cute, energetic, sporty concepts, and last was a group by the name of Baby Vox. They combined elements of Western hip-hop with the brand new energetic K-pop, the original Girl Crush. Together, these 3 groups dominated the radio waves. Sound familiar? How about now? Oh wait, there we go. After the first generation of K-pop came and went, another hip-hop group was breaking records left and right. 21. Expanding on the empire that Baby Vox built, they added another layer of badassery and rebellious nature to their songs. 21 was changing the K-pop industry. And finally, in 2016, enter player 3, Blackpink, who was almost a carbon copy of 21. In fact, YG himself stated that Blackpink was meant to be a copy-paste of 21. He did not want Blackpink to be any different at all, saying, "I tried to make the YG version of a girl group like I did with 21, but this time I wanted the girls to look pretty too." Just like how 21 built their foundation on Baby Vox's concept, Blackpink was once again evolving the concept of 21. So what exactly is the Blackpink concept? Blackpink is the energetic hook and the exotic beats hitting your eardrums, the thumping bass and the blaring air horns, the combination of swag, hip-hop, badassery, and fire, a little bit of sexiness, a touch of glamour, and a hint of female empowerment, the mix of dark black ferocity, and a dash of bright pink pop sound. Jennie's power, Jisoo's saccharine sound, Rose's alluring vocals, and Lisa's lethal raps. This is the Blackpink sound.
So yeah, the Blackpink sound, that's one of the first things I noticed, obviously, was the production value of the audio of the tracks that I was listening to, like Do 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 and Kill Us Love and whatnot. It seemed like there was some tremendous actual production and value to it. And they were written in very creative ways. The structure of these songs was pretty interesting as well. The sound design choices, things like that, it all seemed very fresh and very new from a producer's point of view. But it's interesting to hear that now with with the people who came up with Blackpink saying they wanted a carbon copy of this other group called 21. 21 seems pretty interesting too. I'm gonna have to check them out. I want to see what that's all about. But I didn't realize that they were basically like a clone of a different group that kind of came out. And at this point, I'm assuming they've far surpassed the group 21 at this point as far as numbers are concerned. So that's kind of weird. It's kind of weird to me that you create a carbon copy of another project that you already own. But I mean, I guess it worked out. But I mean, when I hear Blackpink, when I hear their music and their lyrics and the way they put songs together and stuff, it seems very original to me. Now, maybe that's just because I don't know too much about K-pop in general, and I'm kind of just starting to learn now. But as far as like the sound design choices and structure of the music itself, it seemed new. It seemed like this was different. It wasn't just a basic 4/4 basic pop song with, you know, some, I don't know, trending catchwords, you know, catchphrases and whatnot. It seemed like there was a little bit more depth to it. I really enjoyed how they talked about kind of female empowerment and how there seemed to be swag and how they seemed to be cocky. But not really to the point where it was like, whenever you see a woman being cocky in general, and I think this is just a thing that men have, or I think there's people in general, like you think like they're being too cocky or they're being whatever. But I mean, women have just as much as every right to be as cocky as a man does and to be as much as powered as a man does. So I think it's just we as a people, or at least some of us as a people, we just see that as being like overly cocky or overly whatever. To me, I kind of see that as empowerment, and I respect it. I think it's pretty awesome. I like the fact that they do that. And so that's why I thought this was kind of an original concept. So learning that this was a clone of a different project is a little surprising to me.
Blackpink is not the first girl group to do a girl crush concept, and they certainly won't be the last, but they are the greatest of all time.
What is girl crush? What is this girl crush concept? They've mentioned it several times now. I don't get it. Is it just a bunch of girl groups that you crush on? What? What is it?
Time to do it. Now, as much as we praise the girls of Blackpink, Blackpink is so much more than just the girls themselves. There's a team of executives, of administrators, a team that makes music, a team that makes wardrobe, a team that choreographs, and of course, a team that makes big marketing decisions. Now, any great company or organization needs to have a solid marketing team and great brand image. But what exactly does brand image mean? Simply put, it's the customer's perception of a brand. What does a customer think when they see your brand? A perfect example is Apple. You see Apple and you already know what they're about. They're sleek, they're futuristic, they're high-tech, they're clean. You see Nike, you think sports, speed, strength, inspiration. Now that is brand image. Out of all the groups in K-pop, Blackpink has the strongest brand image. There's a saying in marketing, if you confuse, you lose. Meaning if the consumer doesn't know what your product or service is about, you'll lose them. But one look at Blackpink, you don't even have to listen to their music, and you know what this group is about. You understand their image, their concept, their music. You, the consumer, already know all this way before Lisa even whispers Blackpink in your area. They're fierce, powerful, glamorous, they're hip-hop, they're girl crush. YG has carefully crafted Blackpink's image from the sound of their music to the color of their hair. We already discussed their music concept, but there's also the costume, the facial gestures, the makeup, the merch, the light stick, the teasers, the set, and props. Even who they interact with and the events they attend are all part of their brand image. As a result,
Jeez, I don't know, man. I don't know. This is the thing with K-pop. They're like, it's a company. That's what these artists are. It's not like it is here in America where you have a band that starts practicing, they play in the garage, and they eventually graduate to bigger and bigger stages, if they're lucky. This almost seems like manufactured. It is manufactured. It's a carbon copy of this other group called 21, and then they have this team of marketers and stylists and stuff like that, which every larger group will have stylists and whatnot, but it seems like everything is done to a T. I don't know how I feel about that. Because in a way, part of me wants them to be a little bit more original. It makes me want them to I really wanted to believe that Blackpink, and maybe they still do, but they had a hand in some of that production of the music that I heard, and it wasn't just producers. But this video is leading me to believe that it was possibly just the producers. And there's no shot on that. I mean, I worked with some great producers in the day too for some of my projects, and having the right producer, it can make all the difference in the world. But knowing that there's this entire team around them where they're basically thought of as more of as a product than as individuals that are expressing themselves, and it's more of like this company like Apple or Nike selling you a girl group, it seems kind of fake. It seems a little plastic to me. But I think this is just the way things are done with K-pop in general, and I'm new to this, so you'll have to kind of excuse my ignorance. But on first listen to what I'm getting from this, that's just kind of the vibe I'm getting. Maybe the video will go on to explain a little bit later about their personal involvement into this group, because at this point they haven't really talked about any of the actual talent of the girls themselves. And it's pretty obvious, from hearing their music, that there is some actual talent going on. There's some real rapping going on. But are those rhymes written by that rapper? I don't know. There's some real singing that's done it's done very well. But are those lines written by that singer? I don't know. I don't know. And the way that it all comes together, it beautifully fits, and it's definitely catchy, and it's definitely has some awesome hooks, and it is fantastic music, honestly. But is it really these four artists? I don't know. I'm getting kind of like a Liza Minnelli type of vibe from this, where you have this pre-packaged company creating these artists, and then you get this. And then part of me is like, okay, well, if that's the whole case and they're not even that great of artists, they're basically just hired on their looks. I could be completely wrong on this, and we're only halfway through this video. It's just everything I'm getting up to this point is leading me to believe these thoughts right now. I don't know how I feel about that.
Result, Blackpink only attends VIP prominent events, and they rarely attend events with other idols like music shows or even the ISACs. YG has been infamous for this in the past, wanting his groups to appear exclusive, or as some haters would say, YG wants Blackpink to appear as they're better than the other groups. And there may be some truth to that. Blackpink wasn't meant to be like the other groups. Right from the start, when he built this group, YG was aiming for something bigger than just Korea. He wanted to dominate the whole entire world. Blackpink was built with that specific purpose in mind, built specifically as the group that would target the Western audience and preferences. Precisely why this group was picked with 3 fluent English speakers, 2 Japanese speakers with the other 2 learning, and 2 speakers with basic Mandarin. This is to target the 2 biggest markets in the world and the most populated country in the world. The group is one of the most skilled multilingual speaking groups in the industry. Lisa, at this point, is a walking Google Translate app.
세 개. 뭐랑 뭐랑? 3개 국어.
사지 사.
어머. 차?
응.
This next big marketing move will be referred to as the "as if it's your last" strategy. When Blackpink debuted in 2016, they had 2 singles, then just 3 short months later they came back with the singles Playing With Fire and Stay. And fans were excited because it seemed like the group was consistently coming out with new music. Then 7 months later, in June of 2017, As If It's Your Last hit the deck like pam pam pam. It was an exciting single with bright aesthetics and a hot beat, but that's all it was, a single. No album, no B-sides. The name As If It's Your Last was truly a fitting name for Blackpink because it felt like, well, it was their last single. And for the next year, the airwaves were silent. The fans were furious, annoyed, dejected, but most importantly, they were hungry.
A lot of you guys
6 songs over 3 years. I don't get that. It's the strangest thing in the world. Maybe it's just the formula for these K-pop groups or whatever. But yeah, so they've had, at this point, they've had 6 songs. 3 years. So is there an album? Are they just streaming singles? Like, I know it came out in 2016, so at that point, Spotify is still a big deal, or they're maybe not as big deal as they are right now, but they're definitely a major company, and streaming is a thing, for sure, 100%. But there's something about this that seems so strange. Just the way that they went into this.
are asking for a comeback. It's hard to ignore because it hurts my feelings. Just to read them and just ignore. I'm not ignoring, guys. It's just that we are not too sure. So I'm sorry. Don't give up, guys. Let's not give up. Both of us.
The fans thirsted for any piece of Blackpink content they could find their hands on. Rumors, mashups, fan art, YouTube theories, the reality TV show Blackpink House. Finally, in June 2018, the famine was over. Blackpink had 4 new songs, effectively almost doubling Blackpink's entire discography from 5 to 9 songs.
This is ridiculous.
And immediately, Blackpink knocked that and got another banger. As mentioned earlier, Doo 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 became the most viewed video in 24 hours in YouTube history, and eventually became the most viewed K-pop group video of all time with 1.2 billion views. So it seemed like YG's strategy had worked. Here I have outlined a 100% foolproof YG plan. Step 1, starve the fans for a year. Step 2, tease them a little, give them a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Step 3, release. Drop the single that's too hot to handle. And the last step is dominate the charts, kill them, and stack up my millions.
I don't know. I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this YG guy. I don't like this. It feels inauthentic, and it feels prepackaged and wrong. Yes, their numbers don't lie. They've made millions of dollars. You know, YG's got himself his bank. Woohoo! I'm not here to talk about people making money. I'm here to talk about people making art. And I don't know if I can say that for this video or for this group.
Now, this is a risky strategy, but in economics,
not a risky
this is called the
strategy.
scarcity principle.
It's a
If
jerk
there's very
strategy.
little of a product, in other words, if a product or service is scarce, more people will deem it to be of high quality, driving up demand. How many times have you seen advertisements that say limited time offer or while supplies last? Scarcity creates demand. People want what they can't have. K-pop fans hate it, but it really is a genius move.
No, it's
Other
not.
K-pop groups wouldn't be able to.
It's not a genius move. What they're doing isn't smart. This is not a genius move. Yes, the numbers may be fine or whatever, and I know K-pop is all about the numbers and stuff, but let's talk about the artistic integrity and where that is. 'Cause it's not here. It's not here. They are a carbon copy of another group that he tried to do, but my theory is maybe they were getting a little bit older, or they weren't as pretty as Blackpink, so they did something else, and they got these 4 other girls that are just as, prettier, and they make them do their thing. Now, this is not a knock against the girls in any way whatsoever. I'm talking about their management team. I'm talking about YG. I'm talking about all that stuff, all right? I'm sure they are very, very talented girls, and they are. They are. I've heard the music. I've seen them dance. I've seen what they put into it. They put their all into it. They seem like very genuine, real down-to-earth, cool people. The artist in Blackpink. The people surrounding them, I don't get, and I'd be furious if I was a member of Blackpink. Not being able to share any of my artistic identity, having it be pre-packaged by somebody else just to get yourself a higher number on something. That's no way to be an artist. You might as well just tattoo a Nike Swoop logo in your head or an Apple logo or something. You're just a company. Man, this is infuriating. This is infuriating because I really liked the music. I really did. I thought it was really cool. I thought it was really creative, and I thought there was some sort of artistic integrity behind it. But now learning about YG and some of his practices by slow dripping content with basically baiting people into stuff and then never releasing an album years later, but just doing random singles here to monetize the videos as much as he possibly can. It seems like it's a great disservice to the fans, and it's a slap in the face to people. Fuck this guy. Fuck this guy.
To pull it off. K-pop groups depend on constant promotions and comebacks to create
This is
brand
literally
awareness.
making me angry.
But Blackpink's brand awareness stats are already maxed out at level 99. There isn't a K-pop fan alive who doesn't know who Blackpink is, so they're able to use this method to build demand. Additionally, YG built Blackpink with the intention of expanding globally, specifically westward. I know.
Yeah, what are you gonna do when you expand? Are you gonna do anything good? Are you gonna do anything good for people? You're gonna change humanity? Is there gonna be some kind of positive message? Anything like that? Oh no, we're just gonna go for more views, clicks, likes, the whole 9. God damn, this is angering me.
For K-pop fans, a year break is a long time, but for Western standards, a year would actually be considered a very fast comeback.
I'm angry. You know what it is? I'm angry for the girls. I'm angry for the members of the girls to have to be dealing with this bullshit anyway. If you're an artist, if you're out there and you want to create art, and that's what you're doing, that's your life's goal. This is your work. Having everything you do, having somebody having their hand in it like that and just using you as a prop, that's gotta suck. That's gotta suck. That's not good. It's not a good thing. Oh my god, this is anger. You know what? I'm gonna finish this video, but this is angering that. This is ugh.
Back. Ed Sheeran usually has a 2 to 3 year break in between his albums. Pharrell hasn't released an album since 2014. Queen is still active and performing and going on tours, but they haven't released new music for
He's talking about Pharrell, Queen, Ed Sheeran. He's talking about these people that have actually released albums, multiple albums, given people a good amount of content, enough content to feel comfortable, to feel like you really embrace that style of art or those people or whatever. Not slow dripping pre-packaged symbols that are just going to get you a ton of views. Like this is Queen here, all right? This is Queen. That's Freddie Mercury. This is like the greatest of all times. Like, just because they took a long break or they don't put out music as much as they once did, it's a completely different than just dropping 7 songs over like 4 years. Queen did multiple albums. They're still playing now. For God's sakes, Freddie Mercury's dead. Come on.
24 years. So with that perspective in mind, is 1 year really that long?
Awesome screen, awesome camera, long lasting battery life.
Music, choreography, a great marketing team, those are all great things to have. But what really draws
Alright.
people to Blackpink are the heroines of Blackpink themselves: Park Chae-young, Lalisa Manoban, Kim Jisoo, and Jennie Kim. Whether it be their charm, their personality, their story, or their amazing...
Do they have charm though? Do they have personality? Or are they reading lines? Because if their management company is this intense about their hair color and what they're wearing and what they're doing and who they're associated with in their day-to-day lives, do you know their personality? Or are they reading a script?
talent. There is something
Is there
about...
talent? Is there talent? I don't know. I don't know if there is there, at this point, I don't even know if there is talent.
each of them that makes a fan want to follow them, devote their life, or possibly even worship them. Lisa was born in 1997 with the name Pranpriya Manoban in Thailand. Early in her childhood, she met with a fortune teller who said she should change her name to Lalisa, as this name would bring her immense luck. And what does Lalisa actually mean? Translation: the one who is praised. Fast forward a decade later, and the name could not be more true. She is the most popular global idol in the world by a huge margin. On Instagram, she has 38 million followers, making her the 90th most followed account in the world. Of the top 100 accounts, she had the most engagement, with 21% of her audience engaging with Lisa. For comparison, the top 5 accounts, the official Instagram account, Cristiano Ronaldo, Ariana Grande, The Rock, and Kylie Jenner, have an engagement of 1.55%. In 2019, she was the most searched and trending idol according to Google. Her star power was such that even her legs alone went viral all over the world, with people like Stephen Colbert, James Corden, Lil Nas, and thousands of others parodying the meme. People love Lisa. People want to be Lisa. People praise Lisa. What is it about Lisa that draws people to her? Look at you, now look at her. Well, first and foremost, she is the pinnacle of dancing prowess in the industry. She was able to beat out thousands of other hopefuls in Thailand at the 2010 YG auditions because she was the best dancer and best performer by miles and miles.
She can be very, very sexy and very, very cute. She has perfect control of her body. She can take a move that would look awkward on anybody and make it look amazing. You watch her and all you want to do is dance.
When she dances, you can see that she has flame in her veins. Her dance is like crack. Every day she's styling, killing everything in her way. She's wild, and not only that, Lisa just has such a lovable personality. She's funny, she's cute, she's cheerful. She's just a ball of sunshine and optimism. You can be sure that she'll be kicking down the door to everyone's heart in your area.
Okay, Lisa. We know Lisa can dance. We know she seems funny and cute and whatever. Okay, those are things you might, that might resonate with people, might whatever. Okay, all right. There's that.
Rose was born in 1997 in Auckland, New Zealand as Park Chae-young. She later moved to Melbourne, Australia when she was 7 and spent most of her life there. Originally, Rose did not believe that becoming a K-pop idol was in the cards for her, but her father encouraged her to follow her dreams.
Did you audition for YG in Australia?
Yes, like literally like just an open audition.
Why'd you do it?
Because my dad told me to.
Rose stated, "In Australia, I didn't think that there was much of a chance for me to become a singer, especially to become a K-pop star. I was living so far from the country that it never really occurred to me as a possibility." And from day one, Rose was noted for her amazing golden vocals. In the 2012 auditions at Sydney, she beat out 700 other hopefuls, placing first. Because of her unique voice as a 16-year-old, she was placed on a track called Without You, with the biggest name in K-pop at the time, G-Dragon. Since then, of course, she's debuted with Blackpink, captivating not only with her prominent singing, but with her sweet charm, kind heart, and innocent wholesomeness.
All the times that you rain my parade, and all the clubs you get in using my find a man like.
Okay, so she's actually playing an instrument here. So we're like, the girls are not talented. All right, they got it in their blood. They got it in their DNA. Like they can dance, they can move, and some of them can actually play instruments as well. We're learning that now. So my rage is subsiding just a little bit. I'm still angered for them for having to be a part of this company, But it's still kind of good to see them do these stripped down versions and actually writing and creating music themselves.
You got me twisted. You must not know about me. You must not know about me. I'm officially missing you.
And then there's Kim Jisoo. All it takes is one glance, and immediately you're hit with her immaculate visuals, and you're not alone. That's what the talent scouts at YG noticed about Jisoo. Recognized as being one of the greatest visuals in K-pop today, she's a model for Kiss Me, Cartier, Burberry, and of course, one of Dior's muses. You wouldn't have guessed it by first glance, but Jisoo is actually the comic relief of the group. In terms of variety skills and humor, Jisoo is easily the best in the group. She's wacky, funny, and eccentric. In Korea, she's what's referred to as having a 40 personality. She's a complete goofball, which is what most fans love about her. Whether it's just being a complete jokester, prankster, or balancing bottles, what's certain is that she won't be leaving fans bored.
Yahoo! My heart so bounce, okay?
And lastly, of course, is Jennie Kim. Many people are calling her the queen of K-pop, despite debuting just 4 years ago. Ever since she was revealed as a trainee back in 2012, she has been making waves. It seemed like even as a trainee, Jennie was destined for greatness, making her first MV appearance in 2012 as a 16-year-old in G-Dragon's XX, and then even joining him on stage later for Black Black. She was easily the most popular female idol in Korea of 2019, topping the brand rankings. She earned first place 6 out of the 12 months. Recently, her solo song, fittingly named Solo, was a monster hit, becoming the most viewed music video by a female artist with 500 million views. Many people who know her personally describe her as being charming and sweet. On screen, she appears to be this fierce, powerful, bulletproof diva, but in real life, she's actually a sweet softie.
이거 다리에 손 나올 것 같아.
아니면 내가 먼저 할게, 내가 먼저.
아니야, 누구야? 어떡해.
And Happy New Year.
제가 다 봤어요.
나 진짜.
어떻게 사람이 이렇게 놀랄까? 너무
나
놀라.
살면서 내가 본 사람 중에 제일 겁쟁이에요. 나 살...
One glance at her, and you already know why she is who she is. She just exudes charisma and is the poster child of badass, of girl crush, of ferocity. She is the princess of YG, the human Chanel, the it girl of Korea. As a person, everyone loves to hate. Some look at her with envy, while others look at her with admiration. Some people hate her, many people love her, but everybody knows her. And together, they become the most powerful and the most hyped girl group in K-pop history. The world is theirs for the taking. Everywhere they show up, blows up. Currently, YG is sitting on the biggest gold mine in K-pop history. Their potential is limitless. YG just needs to play his cards right, and currently, he has a royal flush. But he actually needs to play them and let the girls of Blackpink shine. Blackpink recently hit their 4-year anniversary a couple days ago, and to date, they've only had 17 songs. And I know that's frustrating for a lot of Blinks who are just done with waiting. I know you gotta be tired, and when the night gets dark, let them be your fire.
All right, so that's just a little intro, outro thing there. Okay, I feel like we learned a lot here today. Let me just turn this down, and I'm just gonna find a good frame to kind of get back on here. I feel like we learned a lot. That's not even them. That's just different groups. We find a good frame. We find a good one. Comparing them, we'll stay on this one. Yeah, so we learned a lot here. Well, I learned a lot here about just Blackpink and K-pop in general. Now, I'm very new to K-pop. I don't know anything about it. I've just always assumed K-pop wasn't for me. You know, a middle-aged, regular American guy. Like, it's probably just not for me. You know? But I've been learning through doing other reactions to other K-pop artists that K-pop is kind of for everybody. And there's a wide variety of fans that are, you know, into this sort of thing. But I am very new. I am just learning about it now. And I'm trying to take the time to sit down and watch these documentaries and learn about these artists. And I got to apologize. I'm sorry that I get so angry sometimes. But part of my background and what I do is I've worked in the music industry for quite a while now, and I've seen what management companies can do to artists, and it's terrible for everybody. And what I see and I'm hearing here from this YG guy, he's going to destroy them. He's going to burn them right into the ground, and then he's going to pick up another carbon copy of Blackpink with a prettier version of them and just try and recreate that same thing over and over and over. He's going to hire the best marketers, the best stylists, the best everybody to put together this package that makes you think you love them. That should be angry. That should anger you. That should upset you. And it should upset you if you are a fan of these girls, because under his leadership, they're not going to be able to go out and do things that they want to do. We saw one clip that one of the girls was playing an acoustic guitar. She was actually, you know, it sounded like one of the songs sounded like it was an original song. I'm not sure what song that was. So some of them are musically inclined. Some of them can sing. Some of them can actually rap. The question in circle here is, can they rap their own things? Can they actually write lyrics? Can they actually write poetry? It's to be determined. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's them writing these things or if it's a YG production team putting these things together by data mining trendy terms on YouTube. Very easy to do. Figure out what's popular. What's a trendy term nowadays? You know, what are the trends doing? I can't tell you how many of these meetings that I've been involved in and how many A&R representatives I've talked to about my personal projects and about my friends' personal projects, and as people are on the verge of get signed or get into a bigger group or go on a tour or whatever, it always comes down to what are the trends. And it seems like in K-pop, they follow the numbers, they follow the trends very, very closely. Now, when you have any sort of management team involved in your project, they are going to follow the numbers, they are going to follow the trends, they're going to, you know, try and nudge you in a certain direction. The thing is, most times you have what's known as artistic integrity, where you as a band or as a musician or as the artist, you can kind of put your own little flair on things by doing your own lyrics or whatever, writing some of your own music, or whatever the case may be, in conjunction of other producers and a management team as well. This seems completely packaged. And I got to say that because I didn't realize that there was no albums. In fact, I think in another reaction I said, I'm like, oh man, I'd love to sit down with a Blackpink album and listen to it from start to finish because the production value on it is fantastic. Well, of course it's fantastic when you're not releasing any albums, when you're basically just polishing one song to the best possible version it can be, giving you that, and then giving you other songs randomly every 6 months or so. It's a shame to me because what's going to happen is YG is going to dump these girls. He's gonna. It's only a matter of time. I've seen it a million times. I've seen it go in a million different ways. Give it a couple more years. Once the name stops, once it goes down, once there's less recognition and all that stuff, he's going to move on. He's going to create another group artist and start over from scratch, just like he did with 21 to this. Now, by doing these things, by not being able to release an album, he's actually doing these girls an incredible disservice. Is he lining his own pockets with millions of dollars? Absolutely. But he's doing these girls an incredible disservice. Even though they have millions, if not billions of views, and they're worldwide known, fame only lasts for a certain amount of time, no matter how famous you are. You only get 15 minutes, really, and then people get bored, they move on. It's just the way the world works. But by not giving people an album, that means people can't really sit and listen to something and really feel the music. When you have a 3-minute song and you can listen to a couple of those put together, but when there's no, you know, rhyme or reason to them, or they're not intertwined in any certain way, and I believe that there is some sort of theme between some of the songs, but not like an album, not like a project where you sat down and we said, we have a year to record, to write this thing, let's go into a studio and just bang this thing out, let it become our lives, and then having that album have its own life. After you're done, you listen to that album is timeless. It is a stamp in time and in history of how they felt at that particular time, the way the music was going, different recording techniques. There's so many great things that go into an album, especially when you have a budget like this. So that part of it upsets me, and I'm sorry I get so angry and I started swearing in the middle of this video. But it angers me. It angers me because I've seen a lot of artists, and I've worked with a lot of artists, and I've had a lot of these A&R representatives and these management companies even come to me when I was doing music stuff and tell me about things that I need to do to better my chances, to be seen on more of a public platform, or a certain look I should go for, certain things I needed to wear. And I'm a guy, man. I'm just a regular guy. You know, and my music stylings that I was known for was metal music. So there was just a couple little things here and there. I wasn't a pop sensation by any means. And I didn't have numbers like this even close to that. All right. And I still had people breathing down my neck. So I can only imagine a day in their lives, like what they have to deal with or whatever. I think it's a disservice to them. I really do. I'd love to see an entire album from them from start to finish. And I don't know if we'll ever get one because it might not be a moneymaker. It's a shame. It's bad news for me, you, the fans, and the girls, honestly. If you're truly fans of the girls, the members of this group, if you truly, you know, like, you appreciate them or you think they have spunky, cute personalities or whatever, and they probably do. In fact, the clips that we saw of them just kind of talking or laughing or joking around or whatever, they seem sweet. They seem humble. They seem down to earth. They seem like just cool people. They do. Nothing what I'm saying right now is knocking the band at all. It has nothing to do with them. It has everything to do with the people surrounding them. I've seen it a million times, and it literally boils my blood. Hopefully one day we get an album. Hopefully one day the girls just kind of come to their senses, and they just decide, you know what? Who cares about all these numbers? When push comes to shove, like, we're artists, and we want to create art. How can we do this without just dropping a single every 6 months? Because you're going to anger your fan base, and then they're going to leave you. It's a bummer, but it's just going to happen. If people can connect with an album, if it can mean something to them, a long format listening of your product, of you, it's going to mean a lot more to them. And that's something that YG understands 100%, but it holds no value to him, so he doesn't see any interest in doing it. What does hold interest? Getting those polished singles out every couple months and getting that monetization numbers up. Drives me nuts, man. But other than that, I feel like we learned a little bit more today. I got to kind of see them in different lights. I got to kind of figure out where these girls started to where they became, how quickly they blew up, and all that stuff. And it was great. It was really interesting to go and learn that stuff. But whether I'm going to continue with Blackpink reactions going forward is undecided after this video. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed your time with me today. Please consider liking and subscribing, and I'm going to catch you out on the next video.